Right, start of yet another week. So today is 2nd of November 2020, of course. As I've been doing recently, my fuel price for the week. So the UK Fuels Shell card, which I've had for several months, that is £93, 93.13 pence. I have now got my new card, which is my block card. Block. So that came, apparently they'd sent it to me with a wrong address label or something, so they had to send it out again. But I finally got it now, and that's 88.21 pence, so that's almost 5 pence cheaper. And obviously you got the VAT to add on that, so it's definitely over 5 pence. So I'll be using this one this week. Yeah, but a bit more on that. I'll let you know how I get on with it. So I didn't actually start till maybe just after 10 this morning. Kind of like have a bit of a lie-in on a Monday. That was my plan. Stayed in bed a bit longer than I hoped. Forward. So just after 5, just after 10, I started. And then I got a job. I got bid on a job and had a ring back straight away from the shipper. And it was down from Birmingham area down to Connectley, which is by Swansea, which would have been, if I did a job, it would have been furthest west I've been into South Wales doing this work, because first I've been west is like Cardiff. Swansea's a bit kind of getting a bit out of the way there, so I quoted at 137. I think it's the short wheelbase job. They rang me up and says, "Can you do it for 125?" And I says, "No, I can't do that. Can't go much lower, so I'll do it for 135, just because it's a bit out of the way." And I said, "All right, fair enough." Didn't get the job, and then it took me a while to get a job in the end. And then another job came up from this shipper, like round the corner from me. It was down as a medium wheelbase job, but looking at the dimensions, it would have fitted in my van no trouble. So I quoted at minimum price at 40 quid. Not only did I not get the job, I actually had my bid rejected, because very occasionally when you put a bid in, they'll actually go to the effort of declining your bid rather than just giving it to somebody else and it just disappears from your feed. So it will say in red writing, your bid of such and such was declined. And I got one of them off them. So I don't know, maybe put their nose out of joint by not just accepting the price they tell me they want to pay. But hey ho, it's my it's up to me what I do and how much I charge. Yeah, and then to be honest, I've been feeling pretty rough all day. I was pretty tired towards the end of last week. Pretty tired all weekend as well. I thought I was just a bit knackered. I think I've got a bug or something. Hopefully it's not the COVID. And then it got to midday and I was thinking, so I've been sat bidding for 2 hours. I was thinking I could easily just sack this off and go home and have a day, or just stay local maybe. But I'd bid on a job down to Bristol, stop in Bath. And I got that job and I was kind of like, didn't really want it when the phone rang, to be honest, but I did it anyway. So that was picking up Erdington, Birmingham, not far from Spaghetti Junction sort of area, central Birmingham-ish, from just like a company that supplied, by the looks of it, insulation and stuff for houses and that, and products. I'd go to their depot in Bristol, get some paperwork, and then do the drop in Bath at some fireplace sales place, really nice old sand building on the outskirts of Bath, Mendip Hills, up in Nadry Lane to get there. I was thinking, where the hell is this taking me? I thought, like, kind of assumed I'd be going to some industrial estate showroom, but far from it. It was the right place in the end. Yes, I tipped that, because I didn't get that until 20 past 12. I didn't tip that till gone 4, and the feed's pretty quiet anyway. It was quiet this morning in Birmingham. And I really don't fancy staying in the van tonight. I don't really feel up to it. Not feeling it at all. So I think I'm just going to... Something I wouldn't do normally, but because I'm not feeling right, not feeling 100%. I might just drive home regardless, and then see how I feel tomorrow. Maybe stay local, see if I can get an Amazon block early afternoon just to keep something coming in. But yeah, just the way I'm feeling at the moment, sleeping in the back of the van. It's, when you're feeling fine, it's okay, but not something you want to be doing when you're a bit under the weather. So I think I'm just going to trundle home really slowly. If something comes up, I'll pull over maybe. Probably just going to be a bit of a crap day, but can't be helped. So yeah, that's Monday. Bit of a strange one. Right, so it's now actually Wednesday. So last time I updated was Monday. So yesterday, I trundled home on the Monday, feeling a bit rough under the weather. And then yesterday I just decided I wasn't going to go on a run. So while I wasn't out driving, earning, I thought at least do some admin. So obviously do my invoices every week, and normally do them on a weekend, try and get them in the post for the Saturday collection. If not, at least definitely get them in by Monday. But every 2 weeks, I try and do it at least every 2 weeks. I go through, update my books, check to see who's paid me, who hasn't paid me, and then chase up any non-payers. And then also just upload my van mileage log, because I normally keep a note of it in a book, and then I just put it on a spreadsheet on the computer, just keep track of that. And also my sales as well, just keep track of that for VAT, so when I have to do that every quarter. So yeah, I did it yesterday, and obviously it's early November now, yesterday being the 3rd, and because I find a lot of the companies, a lot of the jobs you do, they are pays 30 days from end of month, so a lot of payments were due on the 30th of October for jobs I'd done in September. So I had quite a few to go through. Most of them had come in, but there was 4 which weren't there. So one of them was only 20 quid. It was a cancelled job from a while back, obviously. Couldn't get hold of them on the phone, emailed them. Don't think I've had a reply from them, so I'll have to chase them again. And then I had another one, which was, they were very apologetic, said they're having problems with their systems because they're now working at home, a lot of them, and the systems haven't been working as I expected them to. So it should have gone through, but it hasn't. I had that a few weeks ago with another one as well. Don't know if anyone else has had that one, and they were very apologetic. Sent it through, said I'd send it through that day, and then gave me positive feedback. Probably worried I was going to leave them negative for being late, but I won't do it for them. And then there was 2 others which are a bit annoying really, because when you do the invoicing through CX, it goes off their invoicing. So when it automatically, you go through it and it generates an invoice for you, the date that's on there is according to their payment terms. So they should have paid 30th of October, and I ring them up and they say, oh yeah, you're on a next payment run, so one's due end of this week, so it's going to be like 10 days late. And then another one says, oh yeah, you're on a payment run due to go out on the 15th of this month, so that's like over 2 weeks. So as long as I get it, I'm alright, kind of thing. But I know for some people, like, especially if you like kind of hand in mouth more, which I don't think is ever a good idea in this line of work. If you kind of like living off, one invoice to the next, and you need it, it's their payment terms, and they're 2 weeks late. So I probably won't give them, as long as I get them this time, I won't give them negative or neutral feedback. But yeah, I just have to check that they come through. So that was yesterday. Thought I'd share that with you. Anyone who's thinking of getting into this, it's a bit about, it's not all just being on the run and earning the money. As people say, the job's not done until you get paid. So you may have tipped the job, done all your paperwork, invoiced them, until you get paid, the job's not done. So that was yesterday, and I thought I'll give it a try the rest of this week, because I feel better. I'm not 100% myself, and it's gone really cold. It's gone like close to freezing at night, which is colder than it's been so far this autumn and winter. And I don't really want to be kipping in the back of the van trying it at that temperature when I'm not 100%. So I thought I'll stay local. So I picked up a job this morning about 9. I started looking just before 9. It was a short wheelbase job, like a minimum charge job. It was only like 20 something miles. It was from north of Wolverhampton, just off the M54. One pallet from an electroplaters to a small industrial unit in Atherstone. So yeah, that was simple enough. No issues there. But and then when I finished that job, I parked up outside, and then I bid on another job, minimum charge job, 40 quid, short wheelbase, from Lichfield to sort of Birmingham B6, which is like Erdington, Spaghetti Junction kind of way. Actually, it was in Aston, this one. It was down as a short wheelbase job, and this job went wrong, ended up being cancelled. And it was, the main issue was, the reason it was a bit of a nightmare job at the end was the shipper's issue, shipper's fault really. But I kind of like made it a lot harder than I should have done really. I dug myself into a bit of a hole on this one. So turned up, I'm picking up from a pallet network, and the guy in a forklift just looked at me and go, "You and that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "It's never going to go in there." And I'm like, "Okay, just show us so I can ring the shipper at least, because can't really just go off like one of the forklift drivers' word. You got to see it for yourself." And they got it was roofing insulation sheets, boards, like, you know, polystyrene things with foil on it, and it was 1.2 meters by 1.2 meters, so it was obviously slightly bigger footprint than a standard pallet, but that wasn't the issue. The issue was they were both 1.8 meters tall, like really full height. It's too tall for my van, so 1.3. So I thought, all right, if I take the top off them, top layers, I might get it in a van and get them down the side. And then maybe, because the rear door aperture is slightly smaller than the actual height of the van, I might get another one on top. So I phoned them up and said, "You happy for me to try that? But I'll need a bit of handballing." So the extra tenner, which is maybe a bit cheap, but yeah, I quoted this at 40 quid. They knocked it down, said, "Can you do it for 35?" I said yes. So with that, it would have been 45 again. I shouldn't have done that. So what I did do is I tried doing that, realised it wasn't going to fit. So I thought maybe don't use the pallets, just leave the pallets there and handball it all in. Still wouldn't fit. So then I had to just phone the shipper and say, "Sorry, it's just not going to fit. Try my best. You need a bigger van." Things with a shipper, she goes, "Oh, they didn't mention the height." And I'm like, "Do you not?" I obviously didn't say that, but do you not ask? They might have said, "It's 2 pallets. But how high are these pallets? And what's the weight?" That's the height, and the weight is as much as important as the how many there is, or the length of the floor space of the van. So yeah, I got my standard cancellation charge, which was 25 quid. But I'd obviously loaded the van, so I had to unload it onto these pallets, and it was all, I had to all unwrap it. It was, wrap in cellophane cling film. The forklift driver there's brought me a new roll of it. He says, "Oh, can you load them up, just because otherwise it's going to blown everywhere." So I thought, well, I can't really say no, so started doing that. And probably one of my pet hates is this stuff, cling film in general. I think if I was ever on that room 101 with Frank Skinner, if they still do it, I think cling film would be one of my things to put down there, because you start wrapping and you're picking away, trying to get the end off, trying to get it all the way across. Don't know if it's just me that struggles with this. And then you wind it so it's all coming off in one piece nicely, and then you tie it to the pallet, and then you're walking around the pallet, taking your time, making sure you're doing a good job. And then you look down, and you realise you're only using half of the cling film. It was 12 inches a foot, you're using half a foot, 6 inches, and the rest of it is just still on a roll, and there's no way you're going to get that off again. And then you're picking away at it. So I just, in the end, the second one, I wrapped it with 6 inches bit, and then I had to just chuck it on top of the pallet and get the hell out of there, because otherwise I'd have been there all day. So that's not a very good day. So yeah, obviously I wish I'd just realised when the pallet wasn't right. I did have a half an hour drive to get here, so I could have just phoned them, says they booked the wrong van, I need cancellation, 25 quid, left the place, started looking for a job, but I didn't. Tried to be a bit helpful. That'll teach me, won't it? So yeah, that's Thursday so far. Wednesday, sorry. So I'm now sat in Lichfield. There's a few jobs come up, but like I said, I'm not going to go this time. The afternoon's a bit slow in the morning, as you'd expect. And this time of day, I've kind of don't want to take anything much further away from home, so it has to be something quite local. I just don't feel myself, so I'm not going to take anything going far afield and then having to just drive back empty. So this is why I tramp, you see. Obviously, we're going into lockdown midnight tonight. Don't know how that will affect how busy the CX is, but for me, if I wasn't tramping, I couldn't be making a living just out of doing it, the CX. But we'll see how I get on the next couple of days. Like I say, we're going into lockdown, so it's going to presumably get quieter. So this week's one, a bit of a strange one. I'm not going to earn much this week, a bit of a write-off possibly. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Right, just to round up Wednesdays. So yeah, after the last video, I picked up one more job, a small van job. It was like 6 miles. So I just went in at 25 quid because it was kind of like getting me closer to home, and out's better than out kind of principle. Yeah, so I did that one. It's just picking up some steel work from like a sheet metal and forming, bending metal place, going to a company that makes skip wagons, and it looks like they make, you know, bin wagons and stuff. So that was kind of interesting, but it's one of them ones where I just about got there in time. Got there about 4:30, and you know, the last couple of guys were on site, so luckily they got the forklift and got it off for me. Just one pallet. So that was Wednesday. So that was £40 and a £25 cancellation, and then a small van £25 job. So £90 for the day. It's obviously not great. But that's trying to stay local, you see. It's got to be really selective with jobs. Now is actually Friday, so yesterday, Thursday, I've been on jobs again, just trying to stay local in the morning. Probably started bidding about 8, got till about 11, and I hadn't actually won anything. Or just before 11. To be honest with you, I just threw in the towel then. I just thought, stuff it, I'm just going to have a day off. If I get a job now, I'm going to kind of be lucky to get 2 jobs in, then just thought it's not worth it. I'll just stay at home. And not a very productive day, just had a lazy day relaxing at home and had a house to myself, so that was nice. And then now it's Friday. It's a bit late starting bidding today, so started bidding about 9ish. Still not feeling 100% to be honest. Yeah, so started bidding about 9ish. For some reason I bid on a job which I knew was a JCB job, but I thought I'll chance it. I'm getting to know now the JCB jobs because it will say the part number. So on like with little notes on the bits you quote, so the bits you see on the job. So you don't have to get the job to see this. It's just the information there where it'll normally say no code loading or something. It says part number, blah, blah, blah. And it's normally 3 digits. And then / was it / anyway? A letter, capital letter, and then 3 other numbers. And that's how you know. I think it's pretty certain then when I see them, the JCB jobs. But anyway, I went for it, got it, because it was just down the road from me, 4 miles from home, or a bit less. So I wasn't picking up till 10:30, so God knows why I went for this job. Small van job, up to like south of Stoke, ST10 Cheadle. So there's a Cheadle here, and it's not the Cheadle, Manchester. So yeah, I've got here now, and I'm in one of these. Never actually had this happen to me before, but I've heard about this. I've done a couple of JCB jobs. I'm in like a holding area for this particular plant, because around this part of the world there's loads of these JCB plants. So I've gone to the little office in the corner, told them what I'm doing and stuff. And had some guy come to the window asking if I could help him put an address or set up his Garmin sat-nav. Apparently he normally works in the factory in a shorter driver, so they've sent him here to do a delivery, and he's got no idea how to use his sat-nav. So it's pretty yeah, I think being able to use a sat-nav either on your phone or a proper one is pretty essential these days. But yeah, I helped him out. Yeah, so when I got here, went over to the little porter cabin in the corner, tell them I'm here, do all our paperwork, join the queue. got shouted at for not wearing a face mask even though I'm outside, so obviously pretty strict here. They give me one of these things, these vibrating things, and I've just got to sit here. So I phoned a shipper and said I'm going to ring him now, and once I finish doing this and tell him it's half an hour's up already, you're into waiting time. And I saw on the instructions they're going to pay me £12.50 an hour, so I accepted this. I should have just rung him back and said I can't do it on them terms. I was kind of humming and hawing about whether to do the job anyway, but I'm here now, so waiting for this to buzz, then I go back over there, then they'll tell me what I'm doing, which bay I'm going to, I'm guessing. Yeah, so not a great start to the day. I was kind of hoping to try and see how much I could do in a day, a proper Friday, staying local today, but it's going to be a bit of a crap one. But like I say, a bit of a crap week, not feeling myself. I think I'm just going to think about covering my costs this week and then get back to it next week. But we'll wait and see. Right, so it's now actually Sunday, but just to finish off on the Friday, I phoned the shipper and let him know it had been half an hour and I was there. And he said he'd ring them. I don't know if he did or what, but 2 minutes later my little buzzer thing started going off, and I got it off pretty sharpish, so it's probably there about 40 minutes, and so I just kind of like left it at that, and just glad I wasn't there all day on £12.50 an hour waiting time. Yeah, so then I just parked up round in the staff car park. I parked up, had my lunch. There's a few jobs on there. It's kind of slightly out of the way to the south of Stoke. And there's a job on there from like in the Pennines, sort of towards Buxton, but not Buxton itself, sort of Hartington way, going to Wilmslow sort of area. And I thought it was a small van job. It was only like 20 miles or 25 miles, but I had 25 miles, but I was 20 miles away. So I put in, I thought they're struggling to sell that. So maybe if I go in at 50 quid, I might get it at 50 quid and it'll be worth doing. I did actually think about 40 quid it's probably worth doing, but I thought going at 50, just chance it. Don't massively want a job. Yeah, and they rang me up and says, can you do it for 45? So I says, yeah, fair enough. And that was picking up a pallet. It's only about just under 200 kilograms of sand in bags on a pallet, from like an aggregates place right in the heart of the Pennines. Beautiful drive to get there through Hartington area, and then once I picked up again, heading down to Alderley Edge, through Alderley Edge to Wilmslow sort of area. That's where it was, which is a really posh area. It's where loads of footballers live. And then I dropped that off. It was it's quite an interesting drop. It was at a big private house. It was only a few years old. The owner wasn't there. There's like a big drive going to it, and there's just pallets and pallets of sand and all kinds of stuff. Having some work done inside, some flooring work, apparently. And the guy there it's kind of like this guy's millionaire's right-hand man kind of thing. He apparently used to work for the guy. The guy got to 60, decided to sell his business, and then he said to this guy, do you want to just come and work for me, polishing my classic car collection and doing bits and bobs around my property. So this guy's got, he wasn't there because he was in his holiday home in Portugal. How the other half live, and this guy was just telling me about all his classic car collection and saying, oh, see that steel tin shed or tin building the far end of the garage? He's telling me how many millions of pounds worth in there. And I was thinking, well, why is he telling me this? It's like, sure you want to keep that a bit quiet. But anyway, he's a real sound guy. Had to handball it off, but took 10-15 minutes. I don't mind handballing if it's not too strenuous and it gets, you're just going to get it done in 15 minutes when you kind of allocate 30 minutes. So I'm no issue with that. So got that off, and then I was, that area, Wilmslow-ish, Alderley Edge area, slightly in the countryside. And I looked for another job, because even though I said I'd stay local, I kind of went to south of Stoke and then went further north, and then by that time it was late afternoon, so I ended up driving home. So I did 35 and 45 for the day, so that's 80. And I worked out the mileage. It was pretty crap. But Yeah, so Sunday summary time. Wasn't sure whether to even post this video because it hasn't been a proper week. But I did try and work the 3 days I did work. Well, Monday, as ever, these are just my costs, not my costs, my takings, pre-VAT and not costs. So Monday I did that one job, 89, down to Bath area, and the 2 drops, and then ended up driving home because I just didn't really fancy staying in the van because I didn't feel well. I haven't felt great all week. No COVID symptoms or anything. I just felt a bit groggy, got a cold or something. And it was really cold this week. It was getting down to freezing at night, which I haven't slept in a van that cold since lockdown. I didn't really want to do it when I got a cold. So yeah, I just came home on a Monday. Tuesday I didn't work, just did some admin, updated my books and stuff, which I wasn't on a run. Wednesday, 3 jobs, 40, 25 and 25, which was £90 for the day. That was staying reasonably localish, so the pence per mile was close to £1 a mile. But obviously 90 quid for the day is not enough, is it? Thursday I just took the day off because I didn't get a job before and it was getting towards 11 AM and I just thought, bugger it, I'm going to have a day off and just relax for the day. Had the day at the house to myself, so I just thought, why not? Friday, like I say, 35 and 45, £80, and then a drive home from Wilmslow, sort of South Manchester area, which makes £259 for the 3 days, which is £86 a day. Yeah, so it's obviously pretty poor, isn't it? Total mileage is 499 miles. So that's one good thing about the week. I haven't put many miles on a van, but my pence per mile is 52 pence a mile, which is way below where it needs to be. And I kind of worked it out for them the mileage costs, if you work at 20 pence a mile, for them near enough 500 miles. And then my fixed costs of £17 a day for 3 days. My costs for the week come to £310, and my takings are £259. But that's not including the VAT bonus, so call that to 70. So I'm still probably £40 loss this week. I haven't earned anything on them 3 days. It doesn't work staying local, but I could have worked harder and tried harder I could have been up maybe start looking for work at 7 in the morning. I'll try and get one the night before. Be a bit more careful about going out of area too far out of area like I did on a Friday, but it's just generally quiet at the moment. I didn't really notice it was that much quieter on Thursday and Friday after we got into this second lockdown. I don't think this lockdown is going to be like the last one, but obviously things like alcohol jobs, they're going to probably drop off. You might get the odd one, but the alcohol jobs probably disappear. Other things it will obviously affect it. It's a month, it's going to get quieter, but hopefully not too much. I'm feeling more myself now. Plan for this upcoming week from tomorrow is to go back out tramping. It's getting a bit warmer again. I need to do get back on it really and earn some proper money, because even if I did 100% try my best to get home every night, and I live in a good area, probably one of the best areas in the country, the West Midlands, just relying on the CX to earn a living, it just wouldn't work. That's why I tramp. I do hope, if it wasn't for COVID and stuff, I think I could probably do it, earn an okay living, not a great living. Probably less than what I'm earning now tramping nationally, most parts nationally. But yeah, at the moment, it's either tramp or don't earn enough, don't earn a living really, don't earn a crust. So kind of interesting point from the week. But like I say, not the best. Back on it from tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Any comments as ever, please put them below. And yeah, thanks for watching.